Congratulations, you just brainwashed the majority of America. Though I'm sure America has no problem being brainwashed. I love this country. Don't get me wrong. People can be total idiots sometimes. I'm not insulting anybody for being pro Prop 8, but I haven't heard any legitimate reasons to support Proposition 8. I haven't heard of any legitimate reasons unrelated to Christianity and the church, which has very little evidence backing it, that we should be supporting it, that it should pass. But I've heard loads of logic telling you why we should not have Proposition 8. Yet still it passes. Tells you something about the church and the power it has, doesn't it? It really does. You talk about tolerance in this video, talk about how we should tolerate. But what kind of tolerance is Proposition 8 promoting? It's getting rid of tolerance. It's not tolerating gay people. It's not tolerating the idea of gay marriage, of gays having kids. Let me tell you something. Kids, you're basically trying to lie to children. That's what you're trying to do. Let's not confuse our children. Let's not confuse them by having man and man getting married even though they can't create kids. You know what? Let me tell you what most gay parents would probably actually tell their kids is, well, yeah, a mom or a guy and a girl did this and then they had a baby. Now, I know that might seem a bit vulgar, but we've been lying to our kids. I feel kids should be taught from a young age. That way they don't figure out the wrong way like I did. That way they don't figure out through an uneducated manner. They should be taught from a young age so they know. They know, when it's proper to do it. What is marriage for? That's a good question. Marriage isn't for procreation. Marriage is so much more than procreation. Are you telling me that just because a woman can't have babies, she shouldn't be allowed to get married? Are you telling me that if somebody doesn't want to have kids, they shouldn't be allowed to get married? No. That's not what this is. This is blatant homophobia. Now, I understand this has brainwashed people into actually believing it's for the children. The thing is, we do so much for the children. So much is done for the children, but really it's not for the best interest of the children. It's for hiding things from the children. It's for making sure the children don't know the truth. Making sure the children have already been brainwashed so they're not able to accept the truth. You see, since I was a little kid, wasn't always taught these things. And when I found out that I had been lied to, I was outraged. And kids should be. But many kids aren't willing to accept it. Many kids aren't willing to accept that they've been brainwashed. Many kids actually still believe it. Many kids haven't bothered. Many kids are afraid to question because they're afraid of what the answer might be. Many adults, too. And it's ridiculous that this has to happen. It's ridiculous that this continues. Proposition 8, Proposition hate. That's all it is. The church has no spot. The church has no spot in our government. And the government has no right to tell us who can and can't get married. You say that it's for the kids. You claim it to be for families. But it's not. You're claiming it. But that doesn't make it so. Let me tell you what's best for families is teaching tolerance. It's not teaching people that homosexuality is wrong just because a book written thousands of years ago says so. And it's not teaching marriage is between a man and a woman. That's not the real meaning of marriage. The real thing about marriage is love. You could say whatever about what it used to be, but the fact is marriage is supposed to be about love. When you take that away, it's nothing more than a legal contract. When you That's all gays get to have, a legal contract. That's all. And even then, we should at least be protecting, federally protecting our, what is it, our civil unions. If we must not have gay marriage, can we at least protect federally our civil unions? No, we can't. You know why? Because this country is filled with homophobes. Many kids I know have been taught to hate gays, taught to think that homosexuality is wrong because what, a book says it? You know what? Yeah, I'm agnostic. I've said it. I'm agnostic. But I'd like to believe in God. And I believe that if there's a good God, he would allow us to love each other. If he wants us to love, what right do you have to say that just because a book that there's no proof behind says that these people can't love these people? You know, it's not perverse. It's not perverted when gay men, even when they have sex, that's not perverted. It's based on love. The same way when a man and woman has sex, it's based on love. What if somebody told you? What if a book had been found or whatever? If religion told you, straight people, that you couldn't get married, would you just be okay with it? Or like they called it marriage between a man and a man or a woman and a woman, and you couldn't get married? Would you be okay with that? I mean, I know you say it's not natural, but it's been seen in animals. Would you be okay with that? Say a man and a woman couldn't procreate, but a man and a man or a woman and a woman couldn't. That doesn't make sense, but say that were the case. Are you really honestly telling me that the marriages that you are in are only about procreation? You know, if anything, that way of thinking is perverted. If anything, saying sex is only to create children is much more perverted than it being based on love. If there's nothing behind it besides just let's make a baby, then where's the love? Where is it? I don't see it. I think it's perverse. That's what's perverse. So, we need to stop lying to our children. Kids need to know the truth. You might say it would confuse them. It doesn't confuse them. You need to be able to back up everything you say, and most gay couples can. I assure you that if that were to happen, the gay couples would probably say, if said, what is marriage for then? Marriage is for love. That's what marriage is for. And you know what? I really want to see a non-Christian or a non-religious person, an atheist, an agnostic, actually support Proposition 8. But don't get me wrong, if a church doesn't want to marry two gay people or two lesbians or whatever, let them not. They don't have to. But if a church agrees to marry them, they should be allowed to get married, simple and plain. And we shouldn't even have to get married in a church. We should be able to get married otherwise. What about atheists? Should they not be allowed to get married because they're not Christian? Because they're supposedly going to hell? Whatever you want to talk about, some ridiculous fairy tale you want to throw on us? You know what? Separation of church and state. Separation of church and state. That's all I have to say. Yet, as much as I try to tell people that we're supposed to be separating church and state, people just won't listen. As much as I try to tell people, a lot of these conservatives, I thought you didn't want the government to interfere. I thought you wanted people to have their freedoms. No, they don't believe in freedom. Basically, all it is just the Bible. And the Bible has no place in our law books. Honestly, I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to hear your arguments because I'm waiting. I'm waiting to hear something intelligent, not just trying to brainwash people with sweet music and a little bit of, soul searching or souls that going to heaven or hell or God have mercy. All of that fairy tale nonsense. I honestly want to hear a logical reason that Proposition 8 should be existent because I haven't. I have not heard a logical reason. Tell me a logical reason, please. Peace out.